Excellent!
Yeah. Audio is a little bit early. Hopefully it's not too bad. Is it really that early?
Twitch.
How is the audio quality? Do our voices sound
Awesome.
immaculate? Hopefully. This is a new microphone I got, by the way, for particularly for CES and also just for future videos, reviews, and things like that. It's actually a really nice one. It's a Sennheiser MKH 416. Very popular in the industry for both tech tubers and filmographers alike. It's a really nice microphone. So
Beautiful.
hopefully it sounds good. Or I could sound like Paul from I Am Apropos. Or no, I Am Apropos.
I am apropos.
How's it going, guys? Welcome
I am
to the
apropos.
stream. Welcome to the stream, everybody.
Freaking people out, Kyle.
I know, sorry.
That's good. That's what they're here for.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Streaming live or recording locally, I will upload this to YouTube. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Awesome Hardware. This is episode 43, I believe, right?
Yeah.
This is a show that Kyle and I do every week on Tuesday evenings.
Yep.
Recently, we've been broadcasting live to both twitch.tv/awesomehardware and youtube.com/whatever our channels are. However, today we're just doing Twitch because YouTube doesn't seem to want to be accepting our stream.
Right.
We know our software's working here, but when it starts, we get a dropped frames message, and then the YouTube thing just pooped out. So
It's definitely a conspiracy.
yeah, I got no explanation for it, but I will take the local recording that we're doing here of my half of the show, and I will be uploading it to my YouTube channel,
Yeah.
which is Paul's Hardware, ASAP, maybe even later this evening.
And for those of you who are really just here to see my half of the show, we are going to be trying to rebroadcast again to my Twitch, to my YouTube page after Paul's half. But if that doesn't work, same deal. We're just going to be streaming strictly to
probably-
Twitch.
It's probably not going to work. Oh, they're getting mad at you for the audio sync, Kyle. When you set up the new
What?
mic, did you do a delay on it at all?
Honestly, I tested it on the, I almost said it out loud, on the test channel that we have, and I didn't see any kind of audio video unsync. It wasn't out of sync when I tested it.
I don't.
So if you right-click the deck link, will it give you
There should be an offset. Yeah.
delay?
Let
No,
me-
in the top. Oh yeah, offset. There's 2 delays.
Audio input, audio output. You can delay the video too.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm gonna do 100 millisecond, and it works.
How do you know which direction to go? If you know whether to go like positive
It's
or
plus or minus. You just gotta
wing it.
figure it out.
All right.
All right, I have no idea. I hope that didn't screw anything up.
We can't
looks-
hear you.
All right, sync is perfect. All right, yeah. So,
Sync is good.
and the solution as offered in chat right now, if the sync is bad for you, drink more.
Yeah.
Speaking of, cheers.
Yes.
Yay! Let's get the show off.
All right, here we go.
I'm drinking Deschutes Black Butte Porter.
Black butt. It's not like black butt.
Out of my Paul's Hardware thing. So Cal grabbed this one. It's from Bend, Oregon.
Bend over, Oregon.
Cal's got a fancy beer.
As they say. Yeah, this was actually an early Christmas gift from a good buddy of mine. Randy, thank you very much for this. It's Firestone Limited Release 19. XIX. That's 19, right? Anniversary ale. It's a blend of barrel-aged beers, and it looks like a stout. You can tell from it. It's very dark.
Hold on. Apparently I made the sync worse.
Did you?
Yeah. I'll give it another shot.
Maybe negative 100 this time?
Give it one more shot and see if it does anything.
I have a feeling this
I don't know if that audio was great before. Now it's delayed. All right.
This is why you guys love us.
I flipped it. Went the other way. It's
Going the other way.
negative 100 now.
Ooh.
I hope it fixes. What the hell's going on? The show.
I'm
is
pouring
off-
a beer.
The show is off to a rocky start.
This is a sacred moment. No, this
Alright.
is a perfect start. This is what people expect from us.
TW Rage says it's good now. I
That's-
could give you a clap. That's how we sync stuff. Yeah. All right. People are saying it's good now. Cool.
All
hey,
right.
Nocturne Kitty.
All right.
Hey,
Kitty.
And hello to everyone, all regulars and folks in chat. All
Yep.
right, let's burn through some announcements here. Announcements, you can still buy stuff from our stores. Kyle's store is awesome, saucenetwork.com/store.
Yep.
He still has all these wonderful things.
Yep.
You guys can't get Awesome Hardware hoodies anymore. Sorry. No more. My store is also still there, store.paulshardware.net. You can also buy stuff. I
Yep.
also still have a sale going on.
True.
We both have ongoing sales where you can get 10% off of $50 by using a promo code over50. That's through Christmas. Chances are you guys have already finished all your shopping, but it's still there in case you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
What else? What the hell else is going on? I've also closed my show doc.
I have an announcement for my half of the show.
Yes.
Are we ready for that?
Yes, Kyle.
Okay, so in my half of the show, which will be in about an hour or so from now, I've got a new segment. It's just kind of a Christmas special that we're doing. It's going to be an open forum type of thing. So you guys are going to tweet me at Forever a Kyle if you guys want to participate, and Paul and I will be looking at your guys' posts, and we're going to be reading them off and talking about them. So the open forum for tonight is I want you guys to share your worst Christmas ever story. So maybe it was a year that Christmas was ruined, whether it's, the tree caught on fire or grandma got run over by a reindeer. I don't know. Whatever it is, tweet it to me at Forever Kyle. We're going to do it right now or at some point during the show before my half starts. And then when we cut and we're about to go to my half of the show, I'll pick out the ones I like and Paul and I will talk about them and discuss all of your horrifying Christmas stories. So... yeah,
I hope no one has really bad Christmas stories.
I won't choose those.
Okay.
Well, no, you never know. I mean, maybe there's some room for
perhaps we can offer
somberness.
some sympathy. I mean,
yeah.
I had a friend whose father passed away on Christmas morning. It was
right.
very sad.
I mean, we try to make this an entertaining and a fun-spirited show.
Yes.
So if it's everyone in my family died, which horrible to hear, but I don't know if that's really the kind of stuff we're looking for. We're looking for good, funny shit that happened to you that still sucks. So.
All right, well,
tweet away.
Tweet to Kyle, guys, and we'll go over your horrible Christmas stories.
Yes.
Later in the show.
It'll be glorious.
All right, let's move on with the first half. We're going to start off with the first segment in the first half, which is hot and heavy hardware.
Hot and heavy hardware.
We're going to talk about some computer hardware here. If you guys watched the show last week, we talked a little bit about this newfangled thing that at least ASRock had come out with for Intel Skylake processors, specifically for overclocking non-overclockable processors.
Right.
The ones without the K on the end, you can now overclock with an ASRock motherboard as of last week, but now as of this week, as predicted, lots of other motherboard manufacturers are jumping in the game. So this overclock3d.net article says that all these motherboards here now support it.
Nice.
Which includes some from ASUS, of course.
Ooh, do I have any of those? Do I have any of those boards?
The Maximus.
Maximus?
The Maximus 8 Extreme.
I didn't know there were so many Maximus boards.
So that's how you know it supports the non-overclockable overclocking is the Maximus, not the Maximus.
It's a U SKU. You need the U SKU to overclock your non-K SKUs.
So ASUS ROG series, as well as it looks like a lot of boards from their mainstream series, A, Deluxe E, and Pro Gaming. ASRock, of course, has the entire line from the OC 4 all the way down to the Z170M ITX AC, and MSI as well, from the top of their range at the X Power all the way down to the Z170A Pro. All apparently have BIOS updates, and this overclock3d.net article actually has a link to download them directly, because not all of them are available directly for download from the motherboard manufacturer's website. Some of these are being released in beta form for people to do a little bit of testing with before they just push it out and say, here's the BIOS available. So you can download them, though, and you can play around with them, and we have seen some people getting some pretty cool overclocks on something like a 6400.
Right.
An i5 6400, which is much less expensive than something like a 6600K.
Yeah. Or even Core i3s. We've seen some pretty nice bumps there. 15, 20, 25%.
Yes, indeed. So just bear in mind it is BCLK overclocking only. Yeah. Not multiplier overclocking. Multiplier overclocking is typically the simplest way to overclock. You just hey, I want my multiplier to be 45. Now I have a 4.5 gigahertz overclock. Right. BCLK will affect a little bit more in your system, but fortunately, as with a lot of things, Intel has decoupled the BCLK from a lot of other stuff within the system. Yeah. So it might affect your memory speeds, for example. So just bear that in mind. It's not exactly the same, although you can play around with it. And hey, if you're trying to get a lot of bang for your buck, then hey, I think putting a little work into it would be worthwhile.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Moving along. This is an article that popped up on AnandTech, and I found it interesting because I like SSDs. Do you guys like SSDs?
Hate them.
Hate them?
Mechanical hard drives for life.
This one is about a company called Angelbird. They're making a Wings PX1 M.2 adapter. So this is a specialty adapter for M.2 SSDs.
Okay. So it's clearly a PCIe
Yes.
slot?
PCIe adapter with an M.2 slot in it.
Okay.
Doesn't come with an SSD, but the part of the this housing here that goes over the SSD actually works as a heatsink. So a lot of these M.2 SSDs, which are really, it's kind of like a stick of gum, they can get warm. But most of the manufacturers who are selling consumer level SSDs haven't been putting any sort of passive cooling on them. You know, you don't really see these with heat sinks or that kind of thing.
Right.
Intel, I guess, like with their 750 series
Yeah.
in the 2.5 inch one, you know, the housing looks kind of like a heat sink. But
Right.
so this would be a product you would buy for your M.2 SSD. Maybe if you needed a PCI Express adapter,
Yeah.
then that's definitely makes this make more sense. It
Right.
does seem to have a little bit of LED bling going around the edge, although it does seem to only be a single color.
It's
so.
functional and fabulous.
But what's the point here? Well, the point is that it's supposed to make your M.2 SSD run cooler. So Nantec took it through the paces, and you know they ran a bunch of benchmarks, and they do really good storage benchmarks on a Nantec. I'm gonna jump to the last page, which lots of people do.
Yep.
And basically give
Nantec,
you guys kind of the wrap up here, which is that yes, it does make a difference. First, so Nantec's since they run more intense benchmarks, they do an hour-long random write tests, because what that does is it fills up the drive's cache, and it forces the drive not only to write directly to all of the cells on the drive, but it also forces the drive to go into a state where it is performing trim commands on the fly,
Okay.
because it's filled up all the data that's there. That puts it into what they're calling steady state, and that basically maxes out the drive's controller, or at least as much as they can with any sort of reasonable workload. And they showed here with the 512 gig model, the orange bar here is with the heatsink on, and you can see that the random write performance did jump up pretty significantly. Not so much with the 256 gig version, but then they have write consistency here, and higher is better here. There's an explanation of why this lower bar is higher for write consistency, but that's not really as much the point. The point really here for this drive is, do you need it? I guess this is kind of what it came down to, and the end result from what I gathered from the story was no. You don't.
Yeah.
Long story short, I guess.
So basically, it's one of those tests that they run where it's like, yeah, you can see it physically in a graph that A is better than B, but in real world performance, does it really make that much of a difference to your use case scenario?
Yes. So it's kind of like running. It's kind of like testing a graphics card with the FurMark or something like that,
Right.
or like MSI's version of FurMark.
Yeah.
It puts a load on the GPU that you will never, ever, ever in the wildest dreams see in a real world situation.
Right.
It's good for testing hardware in certain situations, but in this situation, yes, they were able to show the heatsink benefiting it, but only when it was under a workload that you'd never ever see using a desktop computer at home or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah.
There is definitely a place for these types of things in the enterprise space.
Yeah,
Because-
24/7 operation, things like that.
Because those drives get hit a lot harder, but I get the feeling with like the look of this thing, not really necessarily aimed at the enterprise market with the LEDs around the edges and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. It's for like the HyperX Predator, competitor or whatever.
Any of you system administrators out there who's setting up like servers, like data center servers, probably look for the LEDs. What color do the LEDs get first before we place this big order? Gotta figure that out. All right.
Superficial IT nerds. God damn.
You gotta. I don't know. Do you think somewhere out there there's like a data center?
It's just totally
some-
tricked out.
Yeah, with some like just PC nerd on there who like builds his own systems and everything, who just
Install the Hue Plus.
just a Hue Plus and LEDs, and like when you walk to the data center, some music turns on and all the machines pulse to the music or something like
But
that.
how badass would that be,
That
though?
would be pretty cool.
Because that would be like a visualizer on a massive scale. Because you've got like dozens and dozens of hard drives. There's possibilities there. You could have a wall of LEDs.
I bet it would keep the data safer too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Purely functional.
Oculus Rift, ta-da, is actually shipping to developers this week.
Yeah.
The final Rift hardware,
Yeah.
and there's a picture of it here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hit the enlarge button. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful.
Damn, sexy.
This does not look like a finished I mean, this looks like a... Well, it probably is a 3D mock-up.
It is.
But yeah. I mean, it looks pretty clean.
Yeah. Probably
I mean, it's still a massive thing on the front of your face.
And it's their first retail version. Yeah. It's pretty bare bones still.
But it is, it is...
Oh, look at that picture. Oh, okay, that's the Vive.
That's the Vive. So...
Vive looks kind of cool.
The Vive does look kind of cool. I mean, it's got all the little... It's got, like, diamonds. It's, like, encrusted with diamonds. Which makes it faster.
It's very Apple Watchy.
Alright, so not only are they shipping the finalized version of the hardware to developers, i.e. game developers, this week, but they've also finalized the SDK, or software development kit, version 1.0.
Yep.
That means that developers who prior to this might have possibly been worried about investing too much time in developing for a SDK that was still in development itself, wherein you might lose work if stuff changes, you know, that kind of thing.
Right.
They should now be much more confident in moving forward with designing games to work with the software and the hardware.
Right.
Yeah, according to this is Ars Technica article, by the way. They said that a lot of developers have told them that they've held off on integrating Rift support into games due to the possibility of syncing development efforts into an unstable pre-release SDK. The Rift itself is expected to release in Q1 2016, which would be January, February, or March. There's no price yet, officially, but it is expected to be over $350, which is...
reasonable for this kind of technology.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. It's a tough game to play, but $350 to $400 is like what you'd pay for a nice console, like
right.
a launch console. You know, $400 was what the Xbox 360 cost.
That's essentially what this is.
Yeah. But not essentially. I mean, you need a computer to go along with this.
I guess it's an extension of the console.
Actually, you need a pretty hefty computer. The resolution of the Oculus Rift is 2160 by 1200, which is, I think they have some sort of stat in here about how much more difficult that is to run than 1080. Where did it go?
The thing is, the reason why 350 is high, it seems high right now, is because it is. Because if you want to be on the bleeding edge of what's current and what's trending or whatever, that's the price you have. There's always a premium anytime like a new technology goes retail or whatever.
Yes,
but maybe like in a year or two, same thing with SSDs. Once there's like more competitors out there and competition becomes more fierce, I'm sure we're going to see the prices plummet. You could probably pick one of these up for $150 in a year or two.
Yeah, I mean, if manufacturing ramps up for stuff for the more expensive parts inside it, so the display, for example, as mentioned, is 2160 by 1200. That's 25% more pixels than 1920 by 1080, and it runs at 90 hertz rather than 60 hertz. So 25% more pixels and 50% more higher frame rate means that you're going to need a pretty significantly powerful system to run games on this.
Right.
Depending on the game, of course. But yeah.
Does it have G-Sync?
I don't know. I feel
just
like
throwing it out there.
Should.
I mean, I feel like
variable frame rate is a technology that's kind of like becoming. It's not a standard yet in monitors, but it's definitely moving that direction, especially for gaming. And since a VR headset is definitely, I mean, I would say it's strictly a gaming tool. They can be used for other things, but it's used
gaming.
Much in the way like a lot of the stuff that you would want for games. Using a VR headset for, even if it was augmented reality or something like that, you would also want even if you weren't playing a game, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that'd be sweet though.
That would. Other than all this, Eve Valkyrie will be included with Rift pre-orders. Not that we encourage pre-ordering it, but that is a game that I have tested with the Oculus Rift, and it is a lot of fun to play. So it's really cool.
At least you have something like right out of the box that you can just start playing.
Yeah,
what do I do now?
It's a really cool experience to be able to control like the way your ship's going with the controller and just look around.
Yeah.
With just moving your head and not anything else.
I would go straight for the Star Citizen demo, the new one that just came out.
Oh, okay.
And just bloop,
pop that on
and just play it forever.
You will playtime in.
Get lost in space.
Of course, there are competitors for the Rift, and the HTC Vive, which you can see here, is also scheduled for release in April. It's been pushed back a little bit, so April 2016 is when the HTC Vive will release, which is the Steam VR headset. So that's going to be some immediate competition. I think we're kind of I think we have a little bit of a console war coming up
Yeah.
in 2016 or something equivalent to that, because we're going to see lots of competing manufacturers trying to come out with VR headsets.
Ugh,
Because
that's annoying, right?
Yeah.
Because now there's going to be this whole slew whole new slew of fanboys. Like now we have like Oculus fanboys and Rift fanboys. Like the fanboydom needs to stop. But it's just going to keep going.
I'm already tired of the HTC Vive fanboys. They're all like,
screw the Oculus,
yeah,
man.
like the Oculus sucks. HTC Vive's where it's at.
You look like a spider with this shit on.
Yeah. And then the Oculus Rift player's like, well, you got a bunch of like diamonds on your face. Or what are they, little mirrors? I don't know. I'm not good at talking trash.
Neither am I.
I've got through it all.
Do you have an Oculus phone? No. I have an HTC phone. They sync together and it does stuff. Man. Yeah.
Hope you guys are writing this down.
I was totally the bully in high school. You can tell by my wicked comebacks that I was clearly fully confident.
Always shaking down the little kids for their lunch money and stuff.
Yep.
All right, one more little story here in Hot and Heavy Hardware.
Mm-hmm.
This is from AMD. This is sort of another follow-up continuation to a story we've been following here on the show for a while, which is AMD AM4 motherboards.
Uh-huh.
According to this article on overclock3d.net, they've been spotted in shipping.
In the wild.
Yes. Confirming DDR4 support, availability of both CPU and APU AM4 products. Here's a picture. I like this. I like the pictures they put in articles sometimes. It's like, we need a picture here. And then they just throw something in there and it's like, where did you get this?
Right.
Did they put the AMD logo on there?
Nope.
I don't know. Is that what is that? Is it CPU?
That is.
Or is it one of their APUs? I mean, no, I don't know.
That might just be a 3D graphic of,
It could be.
Dude on Craigslist made it.
Anyway, these are the Bristol Ridge models that have been spotted in shipping. Some of the specs for them are listed here in this little chart as far as their CPU clock speeds and that kind of thing.
Yep.
These are based on AMD's Excavator architecture, and the performance per watt, although these are not Zen CPUs or APUs, the performance per watt seems to be improved.
I would hope so.
These are, for example, 65 watt parts, as opposed to the, I think, 90 watt parts. The prior version were like a 7850K would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Steamroller is is the prior architecture name. So yeah. Our specification chart having specs which are comparable to AMD's existing A10 7850K APU, but with a TDP of 30 watts less. One other thing to look at is the clock speeds of the integrated GPUs, which are much higher than their counterparts. And APUs from AMD already had a pretty nice, that was one thing you could always say good things about was the APU, the iGPU performance in AMD's APUs. There's a lot of letters in that sentence. But
what about the APIs, Paul?
So these, the top Bristol Ridge model listed here has a clock speed of 948 megahertz versus the A10 7850K, which was 720. So that's 220-ish megahertz faster, and with that lower TDP. So that's cool. And this is without even any of the without the Zen stuff.
Right.
So yeah, it looks like what we're gonna see is AMD's gonna roll out the AM4 motherboards. They're going to have APUs available for them. And then probably later this year, we'll see actual Zen
later
CPUs.
Next year?
Later. I'm already thinking it's 2016.
That's like a few days, Paul.
I've only got like a week.
I should ask my parents for Zen for Christmas.
So, so we'll stay on top of this. We'll, any little updates, we'll kind of keep you guys updated. I'm kind of excited just to see new AMD motherboards. Like, holy crap.
What are they going to look like?
Since we've had 990FX, there have been like a few newer 990FX boards that have popped up here and there, but nothing really to speak of for a while.
No one wants those CPUs.
The FM2 Plus stuff is all a couple years old. I mean, again, some vendors have come out with newer revisions of stuff, and maybe they've added on some controllers for some USB 3.0 or 3.1 or whatever, but the actual new AMD motherboards with a new socket, that feels good. I'm looking forward to that.
I haven't seen a high-end like AMD CPU in a build, whether it's on social media or on YouTube, in a while. They've all been. Anytime you see an AMD CPU, it's a low budget, portable rig or something like that, or just a super
I've
cheap.
seen a few 9590 rigs posted
Recently?
here and there. Yeah, not recently, but I've
Yeah.
definitely seen them posted. A 9590 running at 5.2 gigahertz or something like that.
I'm just saying it'll be a refreshing change to see some high-end AMD CPUs being like integrated into system builds.
Oh, yes.
As opposed to like, oh, it's a high-end build. I bet you there's an i7 in there.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
It bugs
right
me.
with you there.
Bugs me.
I'm excited.
Fanboys, right?
Excited
Fuck 'em.
for some more
Fuck y'all, fanboys. Intel wankers.
Intel fanboy wankers.
Bloody hell. Bloody
Who
cock.
somebody. Never mind. I don't remember what it was. All right, let's move on.
Bollocks.
The hell is next?
I don't know.
what's next.
Nah.
It's time for Tales from Space.
Dot
Tales
From
space.
.com.
Every once in a while, we'll really put an echo in there. It'll be brilliant. All right.
Working on it.
If you guys aren't following space news this week,
You should!
you should have been. There's some cool stuff that happened. We're going to start off with this one, which is the most likely thing that you maybe have heard about. This is from Ars Technica. And this is about the historic landing of SpaceX.
Woo!
A new age of spaceflight. That's right. They have finally completed the first warp drive.
What?
We're moving towards faster than light travel,
Impossible.
and soon we'll be reaching out to the cosmos.
Cosmos.
The cosmos. And
This has been an official report from the International Science of Space and stuff.
mankind. All right, so here's what SpaceX did. They took a big-ass rocket, they launched it. The big part of the rocket that holds all the fuel, which usually shoots the rocket into the air, and then the fuel runs out, and then that part of the rocket's like, all right, see ya, and
We've all seen
ditches.
Apollo 13. We know
Yeah,
how
and then it
works.
falls, and then ends up in a scrap heap somewhere. SpaceX, who's was he founder
Elon Musk.
CEO Elon Musk, has been working on a reusable rocket. So they did it.
Nice.
Yeah, they've tested a few of these. This is a Falcon 9. The image you're looking at on the screen here is a time lapse, both of the launch and the return. So I don't know which of these is which though, so forgive me there. But from one of these, the rocket launched and went up following this line way up into the sky, went up to a height of I think 200 miles, got rid of the top of the rocket, or fired it further along into space. And then the lower portion of the rocket reoriented itself, and then flew back down and landed back on the launch pad.
Stuck the landing.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
It's beautiful. Here, this is a space.com article that actually has some video, which I will try to show you guys, and I hope it's... Hold on, I'm going to mute that. Yeah, where did it go? 15. All right, so the launch is about to happen. Here's the launch. Let me make it bigger. Space.com can be a very slow website sometimes. All right, so there's the launch, right?
Yeah.
Pretty standard rocket launch. Okay. Now let me jump up to when it's coming back and landing, which I totally put on the time chart here.
SpaceX really needs to, I will say, they need to get into other industries, because there are so many things in life that should be reusable.
Oh, well, yeah.
And if they could make a rocket reusable, they could make toilet paper, reusable toilet paper, probably something that's not as ridiculous as that, but
Yeah.
okay.
So
what's going on?
This is the rocket in the air, and it's coming back to Earth. It's moving down. There's not a lot to see here. This
is
we're
history.
staring at
This
the
is what
sun.
history
Look,
looks
there's
like.
the land, and there's the flashing thing of the rocket, and it just landed. It looks like it should explode right there at the bottom, right? No, but it doesn't. It lands, see, and then you can see the rocket there standing
How
straight
does it
up.
do that?
I don't know. That is...
And it looked like it was landing fast.
The
It looked like
rocket's
it was
back.
falling.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. Gravity is a force to be reckoned with.
What the fuck?
Or so to speak. So yeah, I mean, here's why they're doing this. Money.
Duh.
Spaceflight is expensive, and since SpaceX is a privately owned company, they're trying to make things more cost effective.
Right.
Which makes sense. Yeah. So
How much does it cost to send a rocket, to lose a rocket?
Good question, but I want to read these other two notes before I get to that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. First off, I want to point out for anyone who isn't already aware, this is the third time that they have actually attempted this. The first two attempts that they did, they tried to bring the rocket stage back and land it on water, a landing platform on water. The first time it exploded rather spectacularly, and Elon Musk was like, "Lol." It was kind of funny. And then the second time they did it, it landed, but it landed a little bit too abruptly, and it broke a couple of the struts, and then it tipped over.
Right.
Anyway, both of those were on water though, and both of those were like preliminary attempts.
Right.
This one was on land. It was in Florida. It was a special location that they set up specifically for this purpose. The rocket went 200 kilometers, sorry, not miles, 120 miles into space, far off the Florida coast. Then it used nitrogen altitude thrusters to make an abrupt U-turn, fired its engines to create a reversed ballistic arc. You're familiar with that. And
Yes,
finally
yes, I am.
reoriented itself for re-entry to Earth's atmosphere with the engines pointed toward the ground for a final landing burn. Upshot, numbers, making one of these Falcon 9 rockets costs $60 million. The fuel inside one of these Falcon 9 rockets costs about $200,000.
Oh, that's not much.
So you can see that reusing the rocket itself, which costs $60 million, and just spending that money on the fuel, granted, they're going to have to bring it back, refurbish it. I'm sure there's other replaceable parts that they're going to have to do. That's actually the next step of this, is proving that this rocket that they've already fired once, that they can refurbish and then use again.
Really quick, I just want to point out that in the show doc here, you actually wrote that the Falcon 9 uses nitrogen attitude thrusters to make an abrupt U-turn.
Attitude thrust. I copied and pasted that, so that must be...
Oh,
I don't know
blame
if-
the magazine, sure.
I don't know if that's space.com.
Yeah, you're a much more reputable source than Ars Technica.
Nitrogen attitude thrusters.
What would that be
The
like,
rocket,
though?
the rocket gets all like an emo teenager is like, "You're not my mom," and then turns around the other direction. That's
You're not my-
that's some powerful. That's a powerful force right there. They're really taking advantage of that,
I'm not going to fuse with you.
using it to its maximum potential. Anyway, I thought that
Sweet.
was pretty cool.
That
Just
is
kinda
that is
keeping an
pretty
eye on it
awesome.
Earlier this week, and for anyone who's like younger and like maybe wants to go into space, maybe someday in the future, this is the kind of thing that's going to make it a little bit more accessible. Granted, I'm less excited about like everyday people, or especially like rich people who like, I'm going to go to space for 5 minutes or whatever. Like maybe that's useful if they're using it to fund other things. I'm more interested in the science,
Yeah.
getting people up there for a Mars mission or something like that.
Because this means great things for like the future and beyond, not just
Yes.
one incident.
All right, here's another article that is also from Ars Technica, is also about space, and that's why it's part of this segment.
All right.
I apologize because I don't know how to say this word. I'm going to call it the Soyuz.
Soyuz.
Soyuz?
Soyuz.
Soyuz?
Soyuz.
It's Russian.
Soyuz.
Soyuz. No,
The
that's not too
Soyuz.
bad.
Let's ask
The
Dimitri.
Soyuz.
The Soyuz.
Trying to say
Guys, it's the Soyuz.
That's all right. So I'll just have Kyle say that every time. All right. So this is how
It's probably just like this.
this is how you come back to Earth from space if you are a cosmonaut.
Cosmonaut.
It's this thing right here. Does this look like something you would want to drop from space back to Earth
It looks
in?
it looks like a Big Daddy from BioShock.
It actually reminds me of a Rolo, or no, one of those
Rolo.
like a chocolate, right? The curved part here,
Like a truffle.
Yeah,
Looks
like a truffle or something like that,
Right?
with a creamy human center.
Or you know the old school scuba divers that have the helmet? This helmet of the old school
Oh,
scuba
yeah.
divers? That's what it looks like with the little the hashtag. Hashtag scuba.
Hashtag
The original trenders did it before it was cool.
This is the Soyuz TMA-17M spacecraft. This actually landed in Kazakhstan on December 11th,
Kazakhstan.
carrying a cosmonaut back with it.
That's where Borat's from.
That's where Borat's from. Here's a
Fun
guy
fact.
juggling fruit in space for you guys to look at. This thing is just... I did not know that this thing existed until earlier today. So it's compared to riding back to Earth in a moving fireball, basically. Returning to Earth in this thing. And
Like the Martian.
yeah. So Scott Kelly, who's
David, so
U.S. astronaut who's doing the year in space in the International Space Station right now, has already ridden in one of these. He's a veteran of this.
Ooh.
And he explained it like this. He said, even if I had hated the last 6 months, I would have done it all again for that last 20 minutes
Wow.
in the Soyuz.
So he plummeted to Earth
He's
in
done
this thing.
Yeah.
How fast is it going?
Returning to Earth after you detach from the... No, you spend 2 hours doing checks while attached to the space station. Then you detach. You spend 2 more hours doing safety checks and everything after you detach while you're cramped up in this little rocket thing. And then less than an hour before you land, it fires a 4-minute, 21-second deorbit burn, and that's what pushes it back onto the track downwards. While re-entering the atmosphere, you're hit with about 4.4 atmospheres, 4.4 Gs, I should say.
Yeah.
And then it uses a sequence of parachutes that deploy to decelerate it as it's coming back to land on Earth.
Wow. 4.4 Gs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not an astronaut. Is that going to knock you out? Are you pretty much?
No.
Okay.
When they do testing, they train to withstand or endure up to like 9 Gs, I think.
Okay, 9 Gs is
I believe that's said in the article.
cap.
So it's not as bad as like the worst that they might experience. And hey, if Scott Kelly said like it's worth 6 months of tedium or whatever, maybe it's the best. Like maybe it's the best roller coaster ride that's not a roller coaster.
But is it better than carne asada fries? Like if you could choose that moment all over again, or
I would want
fries?
to travel back to Earth in this and be greeted with carne asada fries right when I got out.
Oh, you can't have everything, Paul.
That'd be the best. That's the best way to return from deep space. That's all I'm saying.
This might be true. I'll bring some more salsa for you. Sweet, that's a cool story.
Well,
I like
you.
that.
All right, now it's time for a very special segment.
Oh,
this is actually not a real segment.
Oh, is this what I think it is?
Since it is Christmas week,
it is.
Kyle and I have decided to do a white elephant gift exchange.
Yes,
that's right, white elephant. Originally, we had a group of people that were signed up, but most of them dropped out, so it's just Kyle and I.
Yeah. Sorry about that. So it's going to be a little weird. For those of you who don't know what a white elephant gift is, it's where a bunch of people bring gifts, and then they put them in the middle, and you go take turns one by one unwrapping them, and the person that goes after you has the option to steal an unwrapped gift if they deem it worthy. And then, so it's basically like a kind of fun grab bag, steal a gift from your buddy type of act.
Yep, you can really screw some people over.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little weird since there's only 2 of us. So
we'll make do.
So I think you should pick a number 1 through 10.
Okay.
And then I'll pick a number. All right, yeah. So go ahead. Here. Just hear me out. Pick
all
number 1 through 10.
7.
7. All right. I was thinking of 5, so you're 2 away. You were 2 off. Now you think of a number 1 through 10. Got it?
Okay.
3.
I was thinking 1.
Damn it! The tiebreaker. All right. Rock paper scissors. We're gonna decide who goes first.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
All right.
Damn it.
So wait. So you go first.
I lost.
Yeah, you lost, so you go first because that gives me the option to steal the gift that you give me if I think if I like it. So this is my gift.
What? Wait, so you open this then?
Yeah. No. Yeah, you open it. This is my gift to you.
Okay.
So you go ahead and open it.
So I was confused. I was like,
right.
What the hell's going on? All right, guys. So excited. It's like Christmas morning.
So whatever this is.
Yeah, look at that.
I might steal it back from him.
That's a gigabyte. Oh, it's a Z170X Gaming G1.
Yeah, you like that?
That's beautiful, Kyle. This is
Thank you.
Lovely motherboard Z170.
So our budget for this year's White Elephant gift between Paul and I was $500.
$500. That's
about a $500 board there.
We tried to keep on a budget this year.
Yeah.
Nice. Now this one, I don't think this one can overclock the the locked Skylake CPUs.
Yeah, I didn't see that on the list.
That's okay. I don't have any of those.
Any
That's
you
lovely.
have any non-case cues?
You did a great job wrapping this too.
Thank you.
All right,
I'm gonna go ahead and open yours. No, you know what?
You have the chance to steal.
I have a feeling that my gift that I'm giving you is better than what you got me.
Okay.
I think I'm just a better gift giver, so I'm gonna steal this.
I'm
gonna steal this gift from you. And what happens now? You get to take this one, obviously.
I get to, well, that means I get to open 2 presents.
And you're opening your own gift now.
Wonderful.
So I'm actually,
all right.
I've just gifted myself this beautiful board. Go ahead, Paul.
Excellent choice, Kyle.
I'm kind of jealous that you get to unwrap both presents.
You shouldn't have stolen my gift then.
I know, but I really like this board. I didn't want to give it up.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
What? You did not give
it's the same.
me the same board.
It's the same motherboard.
That is ridiculous. And
this segment was not sponsored by Gigabyte, by the way.
And was totally uncoordinated.
Look at that.
And unplanned.
Wow.
What are the odds?
Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Paul. I'm really happy with my new board.
I am too.
I like mine better though.
Well,
I think I got the better end of the deal.
we'll have to build some systems with them and see who
I
wins.
guess so.
Or something.
We already have. We've already built. We've both built the exact same system.
You're right. We did build the exact same. Yay!
Plot thickens.
Yay! Christmas.
Yay!
Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks,
That
everyone.
was fun. Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, spectacular.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I skipped a segment from my space segment.
Oh, did you?
I can show it really quick.
Yeah.
Speaking of Scott Kelly, they did a spacewalk like this morning, right? No,
Spacewalk?
yesterday morning. Yeah, they
Oh.
do spacewalks. If
Okay.
you follow NASA, NASA on YouTube,
Right.
they have live feeds like
Okay.
everywhere.
Right.
And anytime they do spacewalks,
Yeah.
you can just watch them and kind of keep track of what's going on.
Right.
Anyway, they did a spacewalk yesterday morning. They were out for 3 hours and 16 minutes. They
Yeah.
moved a rail car 4 inches.
Uh-huh.
They rerouted an Ethernet cable,
Wow.
and they did some cable management.
I did all that from here with like
I know.
no
It
support.
took like 20 minutes. So
Yeah,
it's like-
it took me
I
like
think
5
just because
seconds.
they're like 5 miles from above the surface of the Earth. I don't even know if that's right.
I should be an astronaut.
How far up is the space station?
100, 200 miles.
200,000 kilometers. We'll just use metric and then no one will understand.
It's like just above the clouds.
Okay.
The point
It's
we
at least a
can't see.
kilometer up.
Yeah.
Okay, moving along.
Cool.
What is next?
Spacewalk.
Oh, I'm already late.
Sword
Oh,
fight.
I can't tell if I'm late or not.
You are super late.
Well, but we started late. I don't know what time we actually like kind of got going.
We were like 10 minutes
10
deep,
10 minutes?
so
Okay.
6:40.
Alright, so
You
we
got
just-
20 minutes.
All right, time for sword fight. Sword fight is where Kyle and I talk about something controversial
Yep.
and we argue about it,
Yep.
and then you guys also get to argue about it.
Yeah.
I have a straw poll. I'm going to link it in chat here in just a moment.
Right.
Let's talk about the subject of this straw poll. Also on Ars Technica, I apparently got lots of articles from there today.
Yeah, apparently.
Hillary Clinton wants Manhattan-like project to break encryption. That's right. Manhattan is in the A-bomb project
Wow.
because encryption and atomic weapons are equally dangerous.
Okay.
Anyway, there's a stupid article about how politicians don't understand what encryption is and it makes them afraid.
Yeah.
The point here is you guys need to give us your opinion on. Here, let's post
This
little
is a really
straw poll there.
controversial topic.
It's a little bit controversial. It's a little bit. I mean, the question I want to ask is how important is encryption to you?
Jeez,
you know, you got your data, your personal stuff, your private stuff. You want
Right.
to keep it safe. You want to be able to talk to people here and there. You want to be able to, like, here's what it comes down to for me. And I don't want to get too far into this before we start arguing, but like mail, right?
Yeah.
Like, does the government come and say like, hey, your mail's in envelopes? We need to be able to open the envelope and look inside and read all of it. Do you think anyone would be okay with that? As far as people who don't understand what encryption is?
Probably not.
Probably not. Anyway, though, let me just jump over
This
here.
is a ferocious topic to be talking about, Paul. I mean,
It's
it's really
pretty
relevant.
serious for. You know what though? There was one other. You know that
What?
we might have something a little bit better here.
Really?
I don't want to get.
Encryption's a pretty big topic, man. I don't
Encryption is
know
pretty serious. I want to
what would
discuss
you-
that, but I think something that's a little bit more appropriate here, a little bit more serious,
more geared to our show. And
something that I think really the show has not addressed yet, and something that I really think we should.
Okay.
And
It's
that
supposed to be
is
pretty important to overtake the article we were just talking
it's
about.
this article right here:
What's that?
an eggless condiment that they are still calling mayonnaise. I don't know what to say about this. Anyway, here's the real subject we're gonna
That
talk about here.
is
We got
absurd.
a straw poll article, a straw poll for you guys to vote on. We really need to lay.
I'm
this
so
on
glad
the
you
rest.
found that article before we even carried on with
Should-
that stupid encryption shit.
I know, it was terrible. Should we allow this eggless vegan abomination to be called Mayo? Do you guys want some more information about this?
I would.
Look at it with its custardy hideousness right there.
Oh, that is not mayo. I'm sorry.
Mayonnaise, the creamy, fatty condiment often slathered on sandwiches and fries. Fries? Any Swedish people out there?
No.
Swedish people like mayonnaise and fries. Also,
French.
Also
French.
Japanese. French?
Mm-hmm. French.
Well,
That's a
they
French
did
thing.
invent the French fry. It's a vegan company created this mayonnaise without without eggs. And
Okay.
I can't stand for it here. So,
No.
should we allow this to be called mayonnaise? Your options are yes, it has all the characteristics of mayonnaise, or no, and anyone associated with this product should be force-fed a gallon of Miracle Whip. Kyle?
I feel like for me to argue, for this is against my inner being, and like my heart and soul.
Okay.
But
I can play devil's advocate.
okay, fine. If you're gonna give me the out, that's good. This is an abomination because veganism is like Satanism, where they condemn you to hell if you don't do what they do or if you don't practice what they're preaching. No eggs. Can't eat eggs. And here's the thing. Vegans, they're trying to... My wife's going to kill me for this, but she's trying really hard right now to be vegan, and she'll never see this. Ever. You guys will not tweet to her.
I'm sorry.
But it's a shit show. I gotta tell you. Like it is. Veganism is overtaking America. We used to be a good meat and potatoes kind of country. You know what I'm saying? Little Jimmy would be in the back with his little hoe, the tool, and he would farm those fields, and he would kill that cow. I mean, back in the day, there wasn't a bunch of fuss. There weren't people complaining like, why is there any beef in this? Does this have any GMOs? What even is a GMO anyway? GMO never killed it. World War II killed people, not GMO. Let me tell you. So, yeah, why would you ever even call an eggless mayonnaise? Because it's not mayonnaise. Why'd I even call it that? See, vegans are already in our heads. They're already playing games, planting seeds.
They are. It's dangerous.
They're evil. I rest my case.
It's very dangerous, and I find it difficult to take the opposing side on this one because it is something I feel very strongly about. However, for the sake of sword fight, I think I'll put it this way.
Yep.
Vegans have no soul. Therefore, providing them with this small, just something to make them feel a little bit better about that lack of soul, by saying, here, have some mayonnaise. That will make up for your lack of a soul. I think it provides, and granted, non-vegans can look at this and we know the truth. We know that it's not really mayonnaise, but
yeah,
if it's something that will at least bring a smile to the face of a tiny vegan baby,
sad little vegan
with no soul, then perhaps it is the right thing to do.
Why don't they learn the truth?
I don't know.
Why don't they grow up learning the truth, Paul?
I don't know, Kyle.
Instead of being lied to all their lives.
Let's see how strongly people
mayonnaise isn't mayonnaise.
Everyone voted for LOL white people.
This is the whitest sword fight.
Okay.
The whitest.
I'm kind of curious if anyone voted on the encryption one. People did.
Wow.
Is this line secure?
Again.
No, I'm not going to tell you anything until I know whether or not this is a secure line.
That's true, right.
It's very important.
Cut the stream.
Right.
Cut the feed.
What else is going on here?
Well, that was a very educational sword fight.
That's good. All right. One more sword fight that Kyle and I are going to go through here. No article for this one, but since it is Christmas week, this one is Christmas related.
Yep.
And it's a very simple question, a timeless question, and that is, oh, look at all the tacos in chat.
Damn, thank you for the tacos.
I think this is the Taco Bell breakfast taco thing.
Oh, it looks like a vagina.
It does look kind of like
Lots
a vagina.
of vaginas.
All right, here, guys.
Thanks for all the poo nanny.
Thanks for all the poon in chat.
I think it's been like 10 years since I
Appreciate
said that word.
Poon nanny?
Felt good just now.
I'm
gonna start using it. I'm gonna bring it back.
I've said it more recently while reciting Ice Cube lyrics.
Okay. Well, you kind of have to.
If you ever sing "It Was a Good Day,"
Yes.
killed the poo nanny.
Killed the poo nanny.
Anyway,
that's a good song.
All right. What is the best Christmas gift? This is a simple one. This is straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we got your timeless options: love, joy, happiness, baby Jesus. Also, for some reason, to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of other women.
That was a little rapey, but all right.
Or steak and a BJ.
I know which one I'm going with.
Kyle, which one are you going to go for here?
No, I chose last time. I'll give you the gentleman's courtesy to
You
go
did?
first this time around. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go for to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women.
Yep.
You see, Christmas is a yearly tradition, and as the family gathers, as we do so often, around the Yule log, and we gaze upon the fire, we tell each other old stories, we remember back on Christmases past, and I just think there would be no more appropriate time for a horde of barbarians to bash through like the windows and come running in, you know, in wearing furs and with primitive weapons, and just basically lay waste to the entire place. You know, dragging people out by their hair, maybe some flaying going on or something like that. I just feel like it really would kind of put a nice bow, a nice cherry on top of the Christmas experience. That is truly the greatest gift.
That would be a Christmas miracle.
It would. Christmas miracle.
The best gift to unwrap. Okay, well, I'm going to go with the obvious choice and say steak and a BJ. Because, come on, let's face it. The combination of these two things, if you really think about it, are so powerful and so great that America's already made it into a national holiday.
This is true. I was not aware of this.
March
At least-
14th.
At least the internet has made it into a
March
national
14th.
holiday.
And the internet is love. The internet is life. All right? And bear in mind, love is one of the things on that survey.
That is true.
So,
So it's kind of inclusive.
There you
It's
go.
almost like an all. It's almost like an all of the above.
it really is. Everything is steak and BJ. Okay? That being said, this... why limit it to March 14th? Now, that means after the official Steak and BJ Day, National Steak and BJ, you gotta wait until a whole year to get that Steak and BJ again. Now, wouldn't it be nice, though, if every December 25th, you had another one?
You could gather around the Christmas tree with the family.
The family, you know, when the kids are sleeping, or, you know, whatever, if they're... You want to educate them or something. I don't know what it is. You celebrate it again. You celebrate the day. So nice.
JB Humpy says March 14th is his birthday.
We did it twice. Hey, that's an excellent birthday.
That is a great day to have a birthday.
Wow. There's so many gifts there. So, yeah, come on. Who doesn't want two Steak and a BJ days?
All right.
Rest my case.
You make a strong argument there, Kyle. Let's see
Yep.
what people think. Steak and a BJ. Steak and a BJ.
Well,
for
yeah.
sure. I would like to point out Baby Jesus making a strong showing at third.
Yeah, in the running. You know, he got top 3.
Only 4 people voted for Joy.
Yeah, you know, Joy's overrated. We get it
also
enough in the stupid songs that they sing in
It's
Christmas.
also a movie, right? Isn't it?
Joy.
Right now?
Joy.
With what's her face? With Katniss Everdeen.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Um,
Yeah.
Why
the Fappening. I mean, that's what I've heard her nickname. For some reason, people call her that. I don't know why. But her actual name is... Who cares? You don't need to know her name. We all know her by Katniss Everdeen. That's really what I associate her by.
so terrible.
No, it's all right. It's
I'd feel so bad if she was here and she'd come in and just punch us each in the face. Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah.
Okay, we know her
Of course.
name. We know her name.
I respect that woman.
Everyone in chat is like, what the hell is going on? This is our Christmas episode, okay?
Everyone's lolling in here because they have no idea what I just said.
Nobody knows what's
They're
going
confused. They've never heard
Everyone's
of. Yeah.
Confusion, that's something that we're often
Mm-hmm.
faced with on Awesome Hardware.
I am too internet.
Yes.
Way too internet
Alright.
for this combo. All right.
I need to pull myself together here. What the hell's going on?
I think we lost you there for a minute.
I've lost.
We're on news,
notes. All right,
by
yes,
the way.
it's
Moving on to
time for
news.
some news.
And
Good.
something about some French people suing Steam. What's up with that?
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah,
for
of
that
course.
Lovely segue.
Woo!
All right, let's talk some tech news. I have a few stories here to run over before we move on to the second half of the show.
Yeah.
This one is also from Ars Technica. I feel like all of my articles,
Right.
they kept tweeting stuff this week, and I kept being like, oh, that's interesting.
Bookmark.
All right, so a French consumer group has sued for the right to resell Steam games.
All right.
And as you can see, this is Steam's Facebook photo for the past, 3 or 4 weeks, right?
Right.
Everyone's doing the French flag on
Yes.
there. It's a show of support and solidarity.
Even Steam.
even though the French are coming back and saying like, "Hey, Steam,
Screw you guys.
not screw you guys," they're saying that according to existing law in France, that Steam's required terms of service infringe on a number of European legal rights, which includes the right to legally resell purchased software, and which seems to be one of those legal rights, not just in France, Europe, but globally. One of those things that has come into question more than you might have expected when it comes to referring to, I own this glass,
Right.
I own this bit of software.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty significant, I mean, I don't know, is there a difference? Isn't there a difference? There's arguments on
There
both
is and there
sides,
isn't, yeah. But, yeah, go ahead.
Yes. This is being headed up by the Federal Union of Consumers, which is a consumer activist group. I don't know why it's called federal. It's French. Argues that the difference between being able to resell a physical game disc and not being able to resell a digital purchased game is incomprehensible.
Yep.
No court decision prohibits the resale on the secondhand market games bought online, and the European Court has even explicitly stated that it's possible to resell software which is an integral part of a video game. Yes, software is part of the video game. You might say that software is the video game.
Good job, Judge.
Yes.
GG.
They're basing this on a 2012 decision from the European Court of Justice that focused on the resale of downloadable enterprise software. So I brought this up on the one hand because it kind of brings that topic back up of like, yeah, what does it mean to own a game? Yeah, I buy Steam games all the time. Granted, Steam does give you certain options for sharing stuff or letting other people play or like sharing your library with other stuff, and they have made some accommodations for people in that area.
Right.
There's definitely more stuff you can do now than you could earlier on, but you're still looking at what is effectively kind of a lockdown service.
Right.
And when you buy something from that service, you can't necessarily take that thing that you've bought and just trade it around however you see fit.
Right.
So yeah, who knows if this might have wider implications if something does come of this lawsuit.
This could have been a good sword fight.
You're right, it could have.
Yeah, but I think the egg and mayo thing.
I think our sword fights were perfectly adequate for today.
Absolutely.
Anyway, if there's anything more on this, we'll let you guys know.
I've never like wished that I could sell a Steam game. I've always just been like,
haven't?
well, I guess I'm just not gonna play that.
I don't know. I have games that I wouldn't mind like being like, here, it's yours now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess so. I think it's just weird because you're selling something that you paid for, but it's being like you don't own a physical. Does the fact that it's not physical, does that have anything to do with whether or not you can redistribute it?
Well, I think there's two.
If that's all handled by
I think there's
Steam.
two really important factors when it comes to this argument. One is yes, the physical aspect of it, which is that historically, there's never been such a thing as like a digital copy of something, an exact copy. Even stuff like manufacturing line stuff and making reusable parts is only something that's come up in the past 100-200 years.
Right.
So the fact that you can make an exact copy of this without even, I guess you have to copy it to something, but without taking up any other physical space or that kind of thing.
Right.
That's part one. But the other part is that you're looking at something that prior to now was physical. Like if I bought a game back when I played Nintendo and I had a cartridge and I could play that game and beat it, and maybe I'm never really planning on playing that game anymore, even though I wish I kept the cartridge because it's worth a shit ton of money now. But maybe I would say, here, Kyle, like I'll sell this to you for $5 or $10 or something like that.
Right.
I bought my Super Nintendo by trading in a bunch of regular Nintendo games to a place called I'm Comics. It was a comic store back when those existed.
Right.
They still exist, but and I brought in a bunch of games, and they gave me like $5 credit for each game, and I used that towards the purchase of my Super Nintendo.
True.
I couldn't do that with digital games now.
Right.
And I would also kind of wonder, and we'll probably discuss this further because it is a much deeper topic. I also kind of wonder if the younger audience sees this much differently as people who were much more accustomed to physical copies of things.
Grew up around GameStop, right?
Trading in your games. If you have, because
your used games.
Yeah, because you can have a completely online collection now. Apps, I don't buy an app and get a box with the app and install it on my phone. I just download it and it's on my phone.
Right.
Which makes perfect sense. But maybe people who have treated software as a physical thing before in the past versus purely a bits in your phone or wherever your storage is. Could be different. Anyway.
That's true. I would love to add, but we got to roll on.
Yes, we should. And we'll come back to this in the future. That is a very good sword fight topic. So I have to remember that one. All right, we talked actually over a couple episodes in the past about Martin Shkreli, and I'll try not to say his name anymore because I don't like saying his name.
Shkreli.
No,
you gotta say it like a sleazy.
No, because he wants
Martin Shkreli.
I'm trying to not say his name because that's
Martin. Shkreli.
He wants people
Martin
to say his.
Shkreli. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
He wants.
This is 14% beer, by the way.
He wants people to say his
letting
name.
you know. Okay.
That's why I'm trying not to, even though I'm doing it right now.
MS.
All right, let's talk about Wu-Tang, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about last week because it was pretty awesome because that douchebag got arrested for like securities frauds and crap like that, and that's an ongoing thing. And he might maybe probably go to jail. If he does go to jail, though, what happens with that Wu-Tang album that he bought?
Woo!
Because
we don't care what happens to him. We want to know what happens. Okay.
Yeah, I mean he can get butt raped in prison for the rest of his life.
Oh, I hope so. I hope.
Live cam?
I hope it's a big black guy.
But he's got this album, this Wu-Tang album that he paid $2 million for that no one else has ever heard, except for maybe RZA. But like what's gonna happen to it? And this article kind of goes into that. And basically, what's gonna happen most likely if he is convicted is it's gonna go to the asset forfeiture unit of the U.S. Marshal Service. Asset forfeiture.
Okay.
Unless...
Wasn't aware that existed.
Unless Martin has destroyed it.
Right.
Or something else in the interim.
And in the asshole he is, he probably would.
Who knows? I don't know. He's a douchebag. If he did, I don't know. I would wonder what would happen legally, because I mean, I guarantee, like, Wu-Tang has to have
a backup copy.
Of it. I mean, they legally maybe can't do anything with it, but guarantee they've got something backed up on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, who knows what would happen there. Also, I wanted to update that the whole Bill Murray heist thing that we talked about last week was just a tweet that somebody made.
It was a hoax.
It was a fake, funny tweet,
right?
And a bunch of news outlets picked up on it and started reporting it as news,
including us.
We are not a news outlet,
right?
That's my excuse.
A very low-profile news outlet.
And I did at least report on that tweet. I didn't do anything more than just that tweet.
Right.
It was a hilarious little tweet, but it was funny how much that got picked up and actually reported as true.
That would have been great if this douchebag got arrested. If the Shaolin album actually got shipped to Bill Murray.
Oh yeah, if that was part of it, just went straight to Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you guys are at all interested in what asset forfeiture is, and how it's actually kind of crappy in a lot of circumstances, John Oliver has a Last Week Tonight on it, civil forfeiture, originally on HBO, but it's available on the Last Week Tonight.
Does he
YouTube
talk
channel.
about the album?
No. This is actually from October 2014.
Got it.
But all the Last Week Tonights are really good, I think.
Yeah.
And that's one that you guys might want to check out if you want to know what that actually might mean. Let's just say it probably doesn't mean that any of us are going to be listening to it anytime soon.
Right.
All right.
By the way, what's up, Fractal Josh? How's it going, buddy?
Oh, Josh is here.
What's up, baby?
I don't see him. I'm sorry.
Well, you never really do see him.
I'm used to Josh being here physically with us.
I know, all right?
From that one time last week.
This part of the table feels cold and empty.
It does.
Yeah.
It's a little empty.
But also much quieter.
I have one more story. But
yes, you do.
It's not there.
Yeah, it is.
Where did it go?
I see it. Oh, you mean the link?
I think I needed to update the link.
So apparently this East Texan judge has hit some patent troll with attorney fees. This is a Yahoo article. The judge is Rodney Gilstrap. That's a funny last name.
You guys might recognize that name, actually. We've talked about him before.
Hey, you got your Gilstrap.
Do you remember Kyle?
Rodney Gilstrap.
Do you remember the Newegg?
Oh, is it the same guy?
Yeah, same guy.
The same judge that handled our case when we were at Newegg. Nice.
Yes. Well, because it is the East District Court of Texas, and it is a very, 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 very extremely popular place for patent trolls to file lawsuits. Also, apparently, internet doesn't work anymore. Why is
What?
I'm trying to do a Google search. All right, here I found it.
Google's, they're not very reliable.
Yeah, All right, so this is the first time ever that this specific judge in this specific court has made patent trolls pay attorney's fees to the people the patent troll is suing.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how frustrating this is when a
Right.
if you try to run a business and a patent troll comes and sues you,
Right.
and you have to suddenly pay to defend yourself when the patent troll is, so the company that in question here is Edekka, Edekka LLC.
The defendant?
Probably a big bunch of douchebags.
Oh,
there.
the plaintiff.
They are
Okay.
the most litigious patent troll of 2014.
Ooh.
Edekka LLC. Rodney Gilstrap said that their behavior qualifies as exceptional.
Exceptionally
as in
lame.
exceptionally trolly, apparently. I don't know. So as a result, they have to pay the legal fees of the companies they sued. Until this order was issued, Gilstrap had never before ordered any patent plaintiff to pay up for filing massive numbers of lawsuits. This is significant because if you're a patent troll, you're trying to make money.
Yeah.
And paying the legal fees of the companies you're trying to sue, if you fail in suing them,
Right.
that makes you have to pay money.
Right.
Which you should have to do if you're a patent troll and you're filing people.
Yeah.
But that's why this court is so popular and why we've talked about it before and why so many lawsuits are filed there.
Right.
Because they've been very friendly to the patent trolls, let's say. So that's why I wanted to
No
bring this
more.
up, is because it's kind of good news. I wanted to share a little bit of good news, I guess.
Yeah.
The patent in question is U.S. Patent 6266674, random access information retrieval utilizing user-defined labels.
Woo! Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, Edekka has used this to sue more than 200 companies in more than 160 separate lawsuits.
Okay.
And they have both big targets like the NFL and Estee Lauder, as well as smaller sites like 3balls.com.
3balls.com. I
Site-
don't want to go there.
Which is sort of a porn site I've been running ever since I found out. Surgery is coming up soon, though. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
No, actually, they sell new and used golf equipment.
Oh.
3balls.com.
Well, I won't be going there.
Yeah. Also envelopes.com, because that was important to say.
That one's hot.
Defendants now have 2 weeks to submit their motions outlining how much they believe they should be paid. I would recommend that they request a butt ton,
Yeah.
and that Edekka go fornicates themselves.
Yeah, fuck them.
All right, that is
Fuck
the
'em.
end, wrong button. That's the end of my half of the show.
Sweet!
All right,
Awesome.
thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna try to get this up on YouTube ASAP. Stay tuned for Kyle's half of the show. If you're watching live, we're going to be continuing to broadcast it to Awesome Hardware Twitch. We'll try to broadcast it straight to Kyle's YouTube channel too. If that doesn't work, we'll do the same thing we did just now.
Yeah.
Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hope you all have been having a wonderful holiday season and have a wonderful Christmas if that's something you celebrate. If not, I just hope you have a wonderful week.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We'll keep the fire burning for you.
We will. Oh yeah, that fire's still going. I'm glad that didn't go out. It was only an hour-long Netflix stream.
Oh yeah, I should refresh it
You
before,
should.
before the guy's hand comes in, changes the log.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.